For sure. I mean, one of the things as a parent with children in this age range, anything that they think smacks of being an educational game, they don't want to play. They don't want to buy it. They're not interested. They'll just turn their noses up at something they think is an educational game because it's not the same for them. And what did you have that in mind as you were?
Totally, because that's my beliefs as well. If I kind of shy away from educational games in general, so it's to hide away from that kind of wording and. Well, if you're to tell a kid that you're going to learn Shakespeare, they'd probably shy away from it, as you're saying. But in this case, it's using the education in subtle ways while keeping the game fun.
And then we try and translate that and reinforce that learning with a more direct experience in a classroom that the teachers can follow up with, or parents can do at home as well. And it's all linked as well, the third part of the system. So there's the game, the teaching modules, and also the interactive folio. Which is a new edition of Romeo and Juliet, the most media-rich, most interactive version of the play ever published. That includes lots of unique new research material developed by CASP.
And there was additional information, like background information, plot information that's been woven in so that the story gets thicker the more you explore in the game. And we've given users the means, the technology to access these different areas, and they're quite content rich and they're graphically rich, and again there's always text involved, so that you're having to read through, you're having to decode, you're having to what we call knowledge gatherer technology, and that's the main object of the game, is if you can gather the knowledge and access it and use it, you will be successful in the game. And it's actually fun to do. What we're trying to do is to induce kids to read for themselves in an environment that respects how they read now, which is they expect that multimedia enriched environment, and they expect to do stuff on screen. And we've found a way of bringing together the actual play text of Romeo and Juliet with the kind of cultural context that youth would be familiar with. And so and then beyond that, if you're a teacher, for example, and you want to use the game in the classroom, we've created a whole Learning Commons set of modules that teachers can use, pre-ready. They're already at the teacher's disposal, already made, and you just have to kick into the Learning Commons, and then you have all these activities you can do in class, including, I'm very proud to say, an activity that gets you to think critically about online games as a medium, or as in and of itself. So that gets you to think, like, well, what is this thing that I'm doing here? What are the ethics of it? What does it, how do I learn from it? What's the connection between cognition and kinetics,
What we've done is collaborated with local curriculum experts to develop a template that is really easily accessible for teachers. Right now we focused on high school as our first project, and it takes material from the video game. We've also developed modules for other sections of our website, and it sort of coaches teachers on how to use this content to address specific curricular goals. And this module, this template that the curriculum experts have helped us to develop creates like a shrink wrap package, so that a teacher can just print it off, and if they wanted, follow step by step in class. There are handouts for instructions for their students, worksheets, so they can complete their tasks, and they're also completely flexible, so that teachers can modify them depending on the unit or the play or the topic they want to cover.
And kids who have tested it have said what about the game?
They were ranting and raving about it, actually. It was back in June, I believe. We had a test group of grade 6s come in, and we were basically pulling them away from the computers. They had a blast with it. So I really think we've struck a good connection with grade school audiences.
And teachers? Now, what have teachers said?
We've had teachers from, it's interesting, lots of different disciplines, science teachers, librarians, English teachers, drama teachers, contacting us at random, these are people that we don't have any contact with, just searching us out, asking where they can find it. And certainly the teachers that we've had direct contact with in testing are amazed at how easy it is, what an obvious fit it is, and in some cases teachers that weren't expecting it to work, that expected it to be a fluffy,
Gimmick.
Yeah,
A gimmick.
A gimmick, and
Pleasantly surprised.
we've been able to take the medium and do something intelligent with it. So it really is a smart game. So.